Hey, guess what? I got a good juicy topic for you. I'm so excited about what we're going to talk about because it keeps coming up. Maybe it's the cold season and, winter's approaching, but I think it's time to talk about affection, connection, and all the good stuff that comes with it. I am Jacqueline, professional matchmaker with Discover Love Matches. I founded my matchmaking agency in really a passion to bring awesome people together. And there were just way too many single people that were missing out. I had been doing spiritual work with clients for so many years, and I just kept wanting to connect people for loving relationships. And then over the years as a matchmaker, I'm realizing more and more how much else we're missing out on not having someone special or many special people, or being vulnerable on the dating journey, being open. When I talk to people and interact, I can feel their walls, I can feel their cautiousness and their blocks in a not so good way when they're just so scared. So I'm really grateful that through all of my work, I have watched the walls melt down, the softness show up, and really creating a safe space for people to be vulnerable in the matters of the heart. Yeah, that's not easy. So I want to talk today about affection, a connection, how to feel that closeness with somebody and get out of the work brain, the to-do list brain, the checklist, all the wants, needs, and requirements before you'll progress on dating. And just remember what it feels like to have somebody close, somebody that wants to be close and actually you want to be close with. We put up so many guards mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and just logistically, like we pull ourselves apart from someone. And there is such a difference. If I'm sitting across the table from somebody that I'm romantically interested in, the energy's blocked, the table's blocking us. It just doesn't have that same flow. Whereas if I'm sitting next to them in the booth, or we're sitting at the corner part of the bar and our knees are touching, there's an energy connection, and I still feel like we're dating and we're romancing, and I know there's a mutual interest. But if you get knees together and they kind of pull away, it kind of feels like a little, rejection of lack of interest or lack of ability to show an interest. And so I want to really talk about it today. And I want you to dive into the comments and add your thoughts about how affection impacts you. So I was a single mom for a very long time, and I've raised very affectionate kids. And so my family used to always laugh and say, well, Jacqueline only needs one chair because her kids are always sitting on top of her and sitting close. And it's true. We are just very close, and we're a connected family. And I think it's so important to make that connection. Well, I'm an empty nester now, so the affection's different. They're not around as much. And so I started noticing my own self just craving more hugs, more time with my friends, more eye contact and things. And it's not just about romantic gestures of affection, but it's about you being an awareness inside you that you need that. We need skin to skin. We need that hug that you can just pause and relax into for a moment. We need that laughter. We need that joy with other people. I just went to a fun comedy show with one of my girlfriends, and we were laughing so hard that it just made all of our body feel better. And that's what we have to stop and think. What do we need? If you are a love language that has to do with affection connection, then finding a couple relationship connections will really help. So whether it's just friendships that are really good at giving you a great hug, somebody that enjoys to just really connect with you, or you're dating, which is of course the goal I'm always on with my clients, is that you have that ability to make the connection. And I was thinking about this, like, how many times are you on a date and you just wish you could start holding hands and you don't know what to do? And it's really nice when one is a little more direct about it and just kind of grabs your hand and makes that connection. So if you want that just do it. They'll let you know if they don't want you to hold their hand. But so many people are starving and haven't even had their hand held in so long that they don't even know what it means and feels like just to put your palms together and feel closeness. And, whether it's wrapping your arms together or you're just enjoying a stride and connection on a walk, think about what it is that you need and don't rush it. Give yourself a moment to just hold that hug. If somebody's knee leans up to your knee and you're on a date and you're kind of thinking there's potential, control yourself and leave your knee where it is so it can feel the vibration of another person, to feel what is that like? Is that something you enjoy? Are you feeling closer? It's not about this massive PDA where you want to say, go get a room, but you want to be able to let the person know, hey, I'm interested in you. And this is why a lot of times when I'm talking to clients, I say, touch somebody on the side of their arm or on their shoulder. You don't want to be obtrusive, but if you make a gesture, it's amazing how much calmness kind of comes and they know there's an interest. Because one of the big things I tell people all the time is I get feedback from both people from a date, and they often leave the date going, I think we're on two different dates, because their interpretation, their experience, their understanding is different. One can think you're on a rock and roll date, and the other one's going, hey, I just thought we were buddies hanging out. So it's really crucial that you step back, think about how you want to come across. Sometimes we have to push ourselves a little bit beyond our comfort zone. If we're always waiting for the other person to make the first move, we might miss out because they could also be waiting for us to make the first move. So I want you to think about what kind of affection, connection do you need? And then let the person you are dating know and be direct enough so that they're not wondering or missing the beat. And if they're not wanting affection, then maybe they're not your person. Or maybe you find other ways to get some of that affection met by just having other great quality people in your life. So it's not just about having a hookup. It's about finding that person that just resonates with you, that person that wants the same affection, somebody who likes to cuddle, somebody who likes to be able to hold hands in the car. I remember years and years and years ago on a date with some guy that was just so uptight. Yeah, I know. I really don't normally go out with that uptight. And I actually was like, do you think we could hold hands in the car? Because this is really weird. But he had a long commute job. And so he was always in his car, and he was always, hands on the wheel, thinking about his driving, thinking about his work day. So when he would drive for us on a date, he would be a different personality in the car. He totally did not connect with me. He didn't do small talk. He had no affection, nothing over. And talking to him, he goes, I'm just so autopilot. I get in the car and I think about my commuting mentality, and I don't even think about that. He's like, of course, I would love to hold hands in the car. How nice. But he had been so mentally in a different space when he thought about driving in the car that he forgot to make the shift. So I'm glad I spoke up, because then he was much softer and kinder, but he didn't realize he was coming across that way. So I want you to speak up. Say what it is, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever just kind of grabbed somebody's hand waiting for them to hopefully do it first? Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, I need to tell this person I need a little bit more affection, and they either were receptive or totally not interested? Because communication is really the key. That's the big part that makes a difference in my agency, is that we communicate. It's about being who you are, where you're at, and getting your needs met in any kind of a relationship, whether it's a friendship relationship, a courtship relationship. It is your partner that you've assigned yourself with, and you are lining up and you guys are working together for a longer term goal. It's really about you making sure you don't lose yourself in the process. So if you're an affection person and you want that connection, make sure people know that from the beginning of your dating, and really how to interpret that. Are you just somebody that really wants to make sure that whenever you're sitting near each other, you're holding hands, you're touching, you're responding, and you want to make sure your affection needs are being met and nurtured? So let's keep this conversation going. I love talking with you. I love getting your feedback. So thank you so much for liking our videos, adding your comments, and of course, subscribing so you can keep updated regularly. So let's get some affection going on and give a little longer hug the next time you see someone that you like as a friend or you are smitten with and want to get to know better. Have fun. I am Jacqueline, your professional matchmaker and founder of Discover Love Matches, where we support you to find love, enjoy love, and keep love.